Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Grandma Katie Crochets and Knits. I've been doing more knitting than crocheting lately. And this week, I've been busy the last couple of weeks. I mean, really busy. Monday, I went to Hobby Lobby because what I did, remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed you this really pretty yarn. It is called Cinnamon Cedar, and I purchased 2 skeins of yarn, and I was going to do the vertical top that I had crocheted in the navy blue because I liked it and I wanted a summer top, so I thought I would do it in cotton. But I thought, you know what? I want a knit, something that I could knit top. I want a simpler top. I mean, that would have been super easy, and I could have gotten all the yarn for it and everything. Not a problem. But I wanted to knit something because I've been in the mode for knitting rather than crocheting. So I went through all the patterns that I have because I have a big, thick, I have a 3-inch notebook full of patterns. Okay. So I found this. Excuse my coffee cup here. Gotta have my coffee. Okay, and this is called the Top Down Pullover. It's by Yarnspirations. So I will leave the link in the description if you want to go find it on Yarnspirations. And that is what she looks like. There you go. And it's super easy. And it goes from sizes from extra small all the way to a 3XL. And the 3X is what I wear, which is what I like about the Yarnspiration patterns. I can almost always guaranteed I can get my size. If I can't, I bypass that pattern and go somewhere, keep looking for a pattern where I can get my size. Enough of that. So Monday when I was at Hobby Lobby, I purchased all of the skeins I needed. I figured out how much yarn I needed. I already had 2, so I purchased 5 more skeins. I bought every skein that was on the shelf in that color. I mean, every last skein. I cleaned them out. There it is, right there. And the funny thing was, Monday, I kept thinking that Hobby Lobby did not close until 9 o'clock. Excuse me. So it was about 7:30, it was a quarter to 8. It was 10 minutes to 8 when I arrived at the store. I get into Hobby Lobby. It's 10 minutes to 8. I go to the fabric and yarn department. I stop. I see these beautiful fall fat quarters that I wanted and needed for pot holders and bowl cozies, mind you. So I got 12 of them. And then I thought, no, I've got to get that yarn. I need to look for some specific size circular needles. I needed size 6. So I found Knitter's Pride Bamboo size 6. They are 32 inch. So I got them. I came home and I cast on my sweater. Uh-oh. Couple of stitches popped off there. Let's get that back on. And generally I don't care for bamboo needles. I don't really bamboo is not generally my favorite to work with, but I started working with these needles and they are very smooth and they go through my yarn very, very nicely. So I will recommend the Knitter's Pride Bamboo Charm Circulars. These are 32 inches and they're size 6. So, and I picked them up at Hobby Lobby. They were $4.49, so they were very affordable. So yeah, I really like these. I'm going to give these a 9 out of 10 because I really do like that. They are very smooth and they feel very nice in my hand. They're soft and they're smooth. They're not, you know how some bamboo needles and hooks are kind of rough and they catch on the yarn? These do not catch on the yarn. These are soft and buttery smooth. I absolutely love these. So I would recommend these. Knitter's Pride Bamboo Charm. And I found them at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I got my yarn for this. So I am working on my summer top because never, ever, ever have I made a wearable for myself. All the wearables I have made have always been for other people, never for myself. So this is it. The top down knitted pullover by Yarnspirations. And again, I will leave the link in the description so you can go to Yarnspirations and find it if you would like to make this for yourself. It's a quick, easy top, but I think what I'm going to do, if I have enough yarn, I'm going to make these sleeves a little bit longer because I don't like my arms hanging out. I think I want, if I have enough yarn, I'm going to try to make the sleeves a bit longer because I have the teacher arms. the hanging down things. I'm at that age, yes. I will be 5 next week, on Thursday next week, yes. So yes, I'm the Medicare Social Security age, so yeah. What does that tell you? Okay, what else have I been doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So a couple of weeks ago, if you recall, or if you don't recall, if you're new to my channel, you can go back and look. I was at Dollar Tree, and I'm a glutton for punishment, but this one actually worked out. I purchased a Ammigurumi kit, and it was a bumblebee. I'm sitting here with the little bumblebee, and this one actually worked out. This one actually had all the yarn to finish the project. There was enough yellow, there was enough black, there was enough white to do the wings. I didn't have to borrow anything from my stash. And look how cute this little guy is. Isn't he just absolutely adorable? And my son said I got the eyes a little bit crooked, which I think on looking at it, yes, I did. So, but anyway, there he is, Buzzy the bee. So there's my little bee. He turned out quite cute. He's absolutely adorable with his little wings and his cute little smile and all that. So that one actually came out really good. I'm quite happy with that. And I was at Dollar Tree yesterday, and they did have more of the bees. I didn't buy them. I could, and I could make a whole bee family. But understanding the pattern now, I could make larger bees, medium-sized bees. I could make a whole family now. All the stuff, you know. Ammigurumi is not really my thing, but anyway. So the other thing that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, back to Hobby Lobby, I needed some size 11 circulars. So I did that. And the reason I did size 11 circulars is because, again, if from past videos, if you recall, I knit hats for a local homeless shelter in my area. So this is one for the gentleman. This one I did on a loom because I have the circular looms that I use. So you wrap the yarn around the loom, and then you take a little pick and you take the bottom loop and flip it over the top and all the stuff, and you go around until you get it long enough, and then you take it off the loom. The only thing I don't care about that is if you don't know how to make a brim, the end curls up. So I left this one as it is. I don't really care for that look, but it is a hat. It will keep somebody's head warm. So that gives me peace of mind that somebody will have a warm head this winter. So the other thing I would like to do this year, not only in making the hats, but I would like to make scarves, which is why I got another set of size 11 needles. Because I do have a pair of size 11 straights that I purchased years ago. So I got the 11 circulars, so I can do the hats with the circulars, and the straights I can make scarves. Now sometimes I crochet the scarves. But anyway, here are a couple of ladies' hats that I made. This is leftover yarn from an Afghan that I made. This is Lion Brand homespun, I believe. Let me look at all of my, I have all of these. Yes, it is Lion Brand homespun in the color Tudor. This is called Tudor. So, Yeah, these are all the ball bands that I've saved from the skeins that I have completely used up for this year. So anyway, this is called Tudor, and this was the last of the yarn. I mean the last of the yarn. And so when I crocheted this, no, I knitted this. I actually knitted this. So I wanted to do a scarf to go with this. So when I was at Hobby Lobby on Monday, I found some really pretty yarn. I love this yarn, and it is in the colorway. It's called Spun Sugar Stripe. So look how pretty that is. It's got like a light lime green and a pale pink and a lavender. You can see how pretty those are. So I'm going to make the scarf, and it usually takes 2 skeins of yarn to do a scarf. So see, that will go quite nicely with that. So I'm going to do that. And then for this hat that I made this with Big Twist Unicorn and Mainstays. Let me see the color on this. Sweet Violet. Okay. And see, it's got that really pretty burgundy and the blues and all that in it. So to make a scarf to go with that one, I took the rest of the unicorn. So what I do is I take like a size, either I or a J hook, either one. It doesn't matter. Usually, I believe I use the size J hook. And I do a back loop only. And I usually do about 250 to 300 chains because you want it long enough that it's going to double around. And I do a back loop only. So I did 4 rows of the Sweet Violet, and then I did 4 rows of the unicorn, and then I used up not every bit. I get 2, 4, 6. I did 8 rows of the burgundy, and then 4 more rows of the unicorn, and then I ran out of the Sweet Violet. I need 4 rows, and I ran out on the second row. So I was at Walmart yesterday, and I bought another skein so I can finish this scarf. So that will be 1 complete hat and scarf set finished for the homeless shelter, that will make me feel better about that. So that will be 1 complete hat and scarf set finished. So yeah, I have a lot going. I kind of have a lot going, and this is the basket that I keep the hat and scarf sets in, and it's pretty full right now. I mean, it is full because I have 2 more hats planned out. Here's a black and gray set for the men, and I have a blue scarf that I started to go with one of the blue hats. I'm crocheting that, so I've got that started, and then I've got another lady's hat that I'm planning to do with this. So, and then I'll have to figure out some yarn to make a scarf to go with that. So, and I use this is actually a very vanilla hat pattern, and I got it from Yarnspirations. It's called the Heart Warmer Knit Hat. You knit it on the flat and then sew it together. And I will leave the link for this in the description. And that's what it looks like. Super easy and simple. Heart Warmer Knit Hat. It's on Yarnspirations. I'll leave the link. You can go find it. I use size 11 knitting needles. You can use whatever size knitting needles you want. They suggest what size needles? They suggest size 10 needles, but I like to do 11s because it just goes further. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my circulars and see if I can knit it in the round rather than on the straights and then sew it together. I'm going to see if I can knit it in the round. So anyway, I might need shorter circulars because there's only 70 stitches, and I believe these are 32-inch circulars. Anyway, if I can't knit this in the round with my circulars, I'll just knit it on the flat and sew it like I always do. And depending on the thickness of the yarn, if it's worsted weight, what I do is I double it, like, I'll show you. I take, the reason I use 2 skeins of yarn is because I want it to be a thicker hat. So if I'm not using the size 5 or 6 weight yarn, I double it. I get 2 skeins of worsted and I'll double it. And that makes a thicker, nicer, warmer hat. And it knits up very quickly. It only takes me a couple of 2 maybe 3 hours to knit a hat. It doesn't take that long. And they knit quite nicely. So, and this is yarn that I've had for quite a while, and I purchased these yarns on purpose for the sake of doing the hats for the homeless shelter. So, if you're thinking, well, why are you using all that really good yarn? Well, it's because I do charity work. I enjoy doing the charity work. So that's what that's all about. So I have done this year so far 2 hats for the ladies, actually 3 hats for the ladies, because I found one of my other hats. This is a waffle stitch hat that I did with some really thick yarn. This is a 5 weight yarn. So now I need to find some yarn to make a scarf to go with this as well. So that will give me 3 ladies hats with scarves. I would like to make I don't know if I'll get that many made, but I would like to do 7 sets for the ladies and 7 sets for the men. So, because I don't know exactly how many people they get at their shelter, but I figure if I do 7 for the ladies and 7 for the men, hopefully that will give them enough. And then if they need more, I can bring them more. I can make more later on. I make these all year anyway. So, excuse me a minute. I need a drink of my coffee. I love my coffee. Oh, this is another thing that I purchased at Hobby Lobby the other day. Their coffee mugs, their fall coffee mugs are 40% off right now. It says sweater weather. Look at that. Sweater weather fall coffee mug. And we all know what my favorite time of the year is. I can't get enough of fall. And I know it's summertime. I know it's summertime. I know. Yes, I know. I understand. It is summertime. It's hot outside. I think I'm trying to offset the heat. Report on the preemie and newborn hats. Okay, so update on the preemie and newborn hats for madhatterknit.org. Again, I will leave the link in the description below if you want to go to madhatterknit.org to make preemie and newborn hats for your local hospitals who accept these. I will do that. So far, for the girls, I have made 10 preemie hats and 5 hats for the boys. And I've made 4 hats that are neutral in the color yellow. For the newborn hats, so far I have made 7 for the girls, 3 for the boys, and 2 in the color yellow. So I consider them neutral. They can go for boys or girls, either one. So that's what I've been doing. And let me show you the 2 different types of hats that I make. So when I make the newborn hats, I make them on size 6 straight needles. They are 10-inch size 6 straights. These are boys, B-O-Y-E. These are my boy needles. So, and it's a very vanilla pattern. There's a specific pattern that I follow every time so that the hats come out the exact dimensions that Mad Hatter knits require. So the newborn hats, they want them 5.5 to 6 inches across and 5 to 7 inches high. So if I use these needles right here, these size 6s, these come out perfect. These come out the exact dimensions that I need them. So the colors that I pick for the girls and the boys, I get my yarn I either buy Big Twist soft colors, or I go to Dollar Tree and I get the cute little these Just Yarn small skeins. These are 109 yards, 1.76 ounces, 50 grams. Okay, so if you're doing just the knit hats, if you're only doing the knitted hats for the newborns, you can get almost four hats off of this little skein. If you're doing the preemie hats, you can get 5, almost 6 hats off of this skein. Okay, if you're knitting them, you can get a lot of hats off these little skeins. That's why I like to get these. These are very nice, and this yarn is very, very soft. And they do want the acrylic yarn. Do not use cotton or wool for the hats, please. They do not want the natural fibers for the hats. They want the acrylic, the soft acrylic. So the Premier yarn is great for this. And the Dollar Tree has these little 50-gram skeins. They have them in all kinds of pretty little colors. This color right here is called Light Apricot. They also have the sherbet color. There's the sherbet. This is called Ballet Slipper. And then they have a yellow color. Where is it? They have a yellow color. And then they have a blue color and I do this one for the boys. So, and then I have some other blue colors for the boys. I have some grays. I made a little rose color on that one for the girls. And then I have some variegated yarns that I purchased on Temu. It's fingering weight yarn. So a lot of times when I do the loom hats, I make on a 24 peg loom. And that 24 peg loom makes a perfect preemie size hat. The preemie size hats need to be 3.5 inches across and 4 to 5 inches across and 3.5 to 4 inches high. So this is a preemie loom hat. So you do 8 rows. No, I do 9 rows, and then I make the brim, and then I do 12 rows and finish it off. So this is a little boy hat. So what I do is I do a solid color blue or light gray, and then I mix that Temu. See this Temu variegated? I mix that with a solid color gray or light blue. So that's how I get those. And here is a white with light pink. And there's the sherbet with a white. It was a white variegated that I had done. And these are the loom hats. There's that really pretty Premier yellow with a white. It's kind of variegated. You can barely see those variegated colors in there. And then someone gave me a skein of, let me see if I can find it, because it's really pretty. And I started knitting, doing some knitted hats with this. And you cannot, Bernat does not make this yarn anymore. You cannot get this from Bernat. It is this Bernat baby. I don't know what it's called. It's kind of it's kind of knobby. I don't know if you can see it or not. But see that? And it's a 3-weight yarn. They probably got it labeled a 4-weight because of the knobs in it. But there we go. That. So I've been knitting preemie size hats with this. And it actually is working up a lot better than I thought it would. And it is softer than I thought it would be. So it's actually quite nice. So I'm trying to use this, and this is the last of this yarn that I have, and I have looked all over the internet because I thought I might want to make a baby blanket or something out of this. You cannot get this yarn anywhere. I cannot find this yarn. I can't find anything even close to this anywhere. No joke. If anybody knows somewhere to find this yarn at a reasonable price, please let me know. But once I use that, that's it. I will Bernat does make the baby variegated yarn. It's really pretty, but it doesn't have the knobbies in it like that is. So for my inventory for the newborn and preemie hats, I would like to do. I've got the 10 preemie hats for the girls. Okay, I need 10 for the boys, and then the newborns I would like to do 10 for the girls and 10 for the boys. So I have 3 more newborn hats for the girls that I need to do, and 7 for the boys. And then for the preemie hats, I need to do 5 more for the boys. So I don't have very many hats left to make. And that will give me 40 hats. That will actually give me 40 hats instead of just the 30 that they are asking for. Then I can make my report to Mad Hatter Knits, and I can then take the hats to the hospital, the local hospital that they are suggesting, and I can turn them in. And then I can start on a new batch. So there's that. So that has been keeping me busy as well. I absolutely love doing those. Okay, so my daughter, bless her heart, excuse me, I've got to have a drink of this coffee. My throat's getting dry. My daughter, bless her heart, she saw my little bee and she says, "Mommy, he's so cute." My daughter is in her early 40s. "Mom, he's really cute. I have a friend that wants a jellyfish. Can you make a jellyfish?" Really, Megan? I'm not that great with Ammigurumi, but I will try. So, okay. So I go online. I looked for a free jellyfish Ammigurumi pattern, and I found one, and I copied the pattern, wrote it down for myself, and here it is. In all of its glory. I don't know how good it is, but my daughter loved it when she saw it. She came over the other night and she absolutely loved it. So she's going to make sure that her friend that wanted the jellyfish gets it. So the next thing she does is she asks me, "Mom, can you make one of these?" And it's a capybara. Well, I don't know, Megan, but I can try. I can't guarantee you anything beautiful or anything because, again, I don't know how great I am with Ammigurumi, but I can try. So I looked all over the internet, and lo and behold, I have a Ravelry account. And what did I find on Ravelry but and I can leave you the link if you want to try this, if you are good at Ammigurumi and you want to try this pattern. And I am using a size E hook. There is my hook. That is a size E. I am using all of the yarn I am using is Big Twist. I am, for the body, the legs, and the arms, I am using the color Cream. For the nose and the ends of the feet and legs, I am using Chocolate Brown. And then for her dress and her body, for her dress, I am using Medium Rose. So, and in the picture, if you will notice in the picture, she has a scarf and a backpack. I might do the scarf. If I do the scarf, it will be white. But I am not doing the backpack. I choose not to do the backpack. I don't want to. Okay. It's my choice. I don't want the backpack. Just don't want to. So, not gonna. I'm not gonna, and you can't make me. Okay. There's that. What else have I been working on? Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. So, I am doing a test for someone. There is a lady who knits. She is a doctor, and she has put out a new program. It's sort of on the same idea as Ravelry, where you can keep track of your how much yarn you have, all of your tools. But this program, you can track how much time you're spending with your knitting or crocheting on with each project, that type of thing. And so let's say I pick up my sweater and I start knitting, I can set a timer and it will ding at me at 30 minutes. So I know when my 30 minutes is up, I need to stop and rest. Stretch my neck, stretch my arms, get up, get a cup of coffee, just let myself rest and relax so that I'm not overdoing my wrists, my hands, and I'm not getting so tired that I'm stressing and I'm not overloading myself with my knitting or crocheting. So I'm helping test this out for her. I'm taking notes as I go with this app so that I can give her feedback on what's going on. And she put out a new announcement 2 days ago. She would like more testers for this. So I will, if you want to be a tester for this new app, I will drop that link in the description below if you would like to try that out. If you're a knitter or a crocheter and you do this and you knit or crochet every day, I will drop that link in the description. Go look her up and email her, and she will put you on board to test her app. Okay, enough about that. What else have I been doing? Oh my goodness. So in this app, I've been taking inventory of my yarn. And bless my heart, I didn't realize in taking inventory of my yarn, and I'm not finished with my inventory yet. You just need to know this. See all these bins up here? I have not gotten to those yet. What I did was, see that shelf right there? See how nice and neat that shelf is right there? That's the shelf I did. That took me 3 hours. Believe it or not, that shelf, just the one shelf, took me 3 hours, because what I found just on the one shelf, and when I was going through that, I had several skeins of that, plus I had this bag, this little bag right here, full of half skeins, partial skeins, okay? And by the time I got all of my partial skeins together, there were like 20, I think there were like 20 skeins that I ended up making cakes. We are talking somewhere about 5 to 6 hours worth of cakes. No joke. So this bag right here that I crocheted up, believe it was last year. This is 16 inches tall, and it's 40 inches around. I measured it. It's 16 inches tall, 40 inches around with all the cakes in it. Yeah, that's how many cakes I have. It was only, before I did all those cakes the other night, it was only this full right here. It was only about up to here with cakes in it. And now it's over the top, literally over the top with cakes in it. But that's a great place to put all my extra skeins, all that extra yarn. It's like, what do you do with all those cakes when you can't put them on your shelf? You don't really have the room for it. So that's why I crocheted these baskets, or this basket at least, is to put all that extra yarn in here. And this is a really good place to put it, and it sits behind my chair. So when I only need a little bit of yarn or a specific color or something, I pull this out and go, okay, what colors do I have in this basket? And a lot of times I'll have it right here in this basket, which is really nice. Okay, my Neon Stripes Pullover by Premier. If you have not seen it yet, for those of you who are new to my channel, if you have not seen it yet, this is the back. Again, this is a 3X, so this is pretty good size. This is the back. I finished it up a couple of weeks ago. So, there's that. I'm surprised I've gotten this far with it, but I have a friend at church, and she encourages me, Karen, how far have you gotten on this? Because she knits too. And she's pretty quick with her knitting. And she's very good. She's a lot better at knitting and things than I am. But she encourages me. And she asked me one day, she said, Karen, how far have you gotten with your sweater? And I said, well, I'm almost done with the back. And she says, well, don't you think you need to get busy with that instead of starting these new projects? I'm like, yeah, I probably should. So I got busy and I finished the back panel and I started the front panel. And the last time I spoke with you, I was right here. So now I'm right here. I've added 3 more inches since I spoke with you last. So what I'm doing is every 10 inches, I'm putting a lifeline every 10 inches because this needs to be 18 inches before I start the stripes. So I am marking, I am keeping track of how far I am so that I know where I need to be when I start the stripes. Anyway, so, and I have a knitting group tonight that I'm going to with my friend, and I'm going to take this with me so I can work on it. And it's the stockinette stitch. Knit 1 row, purl the next, knit 1 row, purl the next row, knit 1 row, purl the next row. So there is that. And for this sweater, if you do not already know, I am using I Love This Yarn by Hobby Lobby. It's sport weight. It's a 3 weight. The color is ivory. These are 2.5 ounce skeins. I purchased 6 skeins of this. Actually 7, I believe. 7 skeins. And these are 2.5. The size, I am using size, I believe 7 knitting needles. Let me check my gauge here. I believe these are 7s. Let me check. Yes, these are size 7 knitting needles. So, there's that. There is that. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the package. They're size 7 boy knitting needles, BOYE. These are, and they're 29 inches long. I don't need them to be longer than that. I do not need them to be longer than that. And if you want to know, the ribbing is this yarn right here. I got this from my local yarn shop. It's 100% merino wool. It is fingering weight. So it's probably like a 2. And it's a fingering weight. I got it from a local yarn shop. I will leave you the link to them and you can go look at all the beautiful yarns that they have. They are here in Texas. And I'm telling you, she's got some beautiful yarns. Beautiful, beautiful yarns. Oh my goodness. And that colorway is called Tulipalooza. Tulipalooza. And I bought 2 skeins of it. Each skein has 437 yards, 400 meters, 100 grams. So there was that. And that's it for that. That is fingering weight yarn. So, still working on my sweater, but I am getting it done. But I am also working on my summer sweater because I want a summer sweater. If you're really new to my channel, sorry about that. If you're really new to my channel and you haven't heard yet, you did not know I did this. I listen to other ladies on YouTube, and I keep seeing these people do socks. And I am a person, I love to challenge myself. So this year, I have challenged myself to learn to make socks. So what do I do? What on earth have I done? Lord have mercy. I went to Premiere. Oh, Lord help me. I went to Premiere and I printed off a pattern for socks. And I've been so proud of myself. And this pattern, you do it from the toes up. Okay? So once I finally learned how to cast on the toes and do this sock from the toes up, so I cast it on, I start knitting, and I mean that sock is huge. And it is definitely too big for me. Look how big this thing is. It's huge. That's way too big for me because I put it on my foot and I did not try it on until I was completely done with it. Bad move. You try them on as you go. I did not know this, but I know it now. Okay, laugh at me. It's okay if you laugh at me because I've been laughing at myself. I've been chiding myself. I have been lecturing myself. Okay, you just need to know that. So, what I am doing is, I am going to frog this puppy. Oh, and I'm using a size, I used a size 2 needle, which was the suggestion, and I did the biggest size sock suggested for my foot size. Well, it came out way too big, okay? And I did everything right. I did everything exactly the way I was supposed to, but it came out way too big. All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna frog this puppy out. When I get a notion, I'm gonna frog the puppy out, and I'm gonna totally remake it because I was using my number 2 Knit Pro Zings. And where did my needle go? This is what they look like. And these are wonderful needles, by the way. I ordered these from Amazon. These are absolutely wonderful needles. And so I got them knit. That sock knitted up pretty dang quick. A sock, that it doesn't really take a long time to knit a sock if that's all you're doing. So, and I even started the second sock. But this sock is not going to get finished. I'm going to have to frog this one too. Because I found some vanilla sock patterns. Okay, so I went to Yarnspirations. Found a sock pattern on there. Went to Patton's Croy Socks. Found a vanilla pattern on there. I went on, because I have a Ravelry account, went to Ravelry. And lo and behold, one of the ladies that I watch on YouTube, her YouTube channel is called The Crazy Sock Lady. And she has vanilla sock patterns for free on Ravelry. So guess what I did? I downloaded her vanilla sock pattern to my library on Ravelry. And I'm going to use, because not only can I download her sock pattern on Ravelry, but I can go on YouTube and watch her tutorial and follow her tutorial as I go, so I make sure I do it right. Okay? Because I want to do this thing right. I want to get really good at making socks. I've been wanting to learn how to make socks forever. I want to know how to make socks. And a written pattern is fine. I can follow a written pattern. But how do I know if that sock is going to fit me? Right? How do I know that sock is going to fit my big foot and my large leg? So I'm kind of a hands-on person. Talk me through it as we're doing it so I know what I'm doing. And then once somebody talks me through it and I'm learning how to do it, then after that, I can pretty much take it from there. So I haven't finished the sock thing yet, so I'm still working on the socks, but I'm going to get it. And here's the thing. Once I learn how to do the socks for myself, my son wants a pair of socks and my daughter wants a pair of socks. But what I plan to do is, when I make my socks, I'm going down to a size 1 needle. So I'm not doing the size 2s. I'm doing size 1s. And they are circulars. So I bought 2 pair of size 1 circulars. So I'm going to take my lessons from her. I'm going to watch her tutorials. I'm going to use her vanilla sock pattern. And I want to get good enough making my own socks for me that I can make my son a pair of socks and my daughter a pair of socks. I'm also going to go down to the next sock size. I don't think I need the 3X size on my socks. I can go down to that. I can go down 1 size on the socks. So that's what I plan to do there. The other thing I did, I got at Hobby Lobby, is Crazy Sock Lady suggests to get the light bulb markers so that you can mark your rows as you go. So I got light bulb markers. And they are going in my little sock bag. So there's that. The other thing I have that I keep, and I have used these already. These are also size 2 double point needles. These are from Yarnology from Hobby Lobby. I bought those when I first did my first pair of socks, but I put them back on the card. I am keeping these because I may use these for something else. I actually have 2 Ammigurumi sets that call for size 2 double point needles. So I may use these for that. I don't know. Anyway, all that stays in my little sock bag that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean to your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. Anyway, and then the last thing I have is the Afghan for my grandson. Let me show you how much I've gotten done on this. And because I have been giving this love. I have been working on this. This is where I was the last time we spoke. And this is where I am now. I've been putting lots of love on this. This goes really quick because it's not a 10 stitch ripple. It's a 5 stitch ripple. I do the shorter peaks and valleys. I do 5 stitch peaks and valleys, not 10, because it goes quicker. But anyway, so that's how much I've gotten done. I want to get this thing done. I want to get it out from in front of me. I want to be done with it. So there's that. Putting some love on that. Making progress with my whips. All right, y'all. That is it for now. I think that's way more than enough. I love you all. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Happy birthday, America. 250 years, and we're still going strong. All right. Happy 4th.